Bruce sees all.
So I woke up at 1:30 a.m. Now it's 5 a.m. I'm going to have to stay up. Talk about weird, the changes in my sleeping habits and hours. Guys, the core, Earth core, has stopped and has begun, is about to begin to spin backwards. 1 month ago, I told everyone that the clouds were going backwards. Does the inner core control the clouds and which direction, and all the currents that are on the earth? Are all the oceans and currents going to change directions? I mean, this is beyond scary while you're looking at this unidentified aerial phenomena, yes, that came as close as I've ever seen a UFO to me at the house with the shape inside. This is something like a light being or some type of invisible vessel or a beam, a frequency of something, because I do not see a vessel. All I see is a light. But for whatever the reason, I was lucky enough for it to show me this beautiful phase it just went through, appeared out of the sky out of nowhere. So for those that think it's a satellite, here's a satellite just let go in a satellite train from Florida and are going to climb in height and disappear as the mirrors turn away from us. This is sinus iridum. Never hit it. The promontorium right at the end of sinus iridum. Listen, over one another, the structuring. So many connections inside of the sinus iridum mountain near the Jura Mountains. That connection that I'm showing you right there are no two ways about it. So it's straight up proof. I could post this without saying absolutely anything about it. There's no filter here, by the way. This is with my 14-inch telescope, turning it around. Doesn't it like blow your bloody mind when you turn it around, seeing all those connections? Because it's not just connections. I'm very happy to say that these squares or structures, not all square, rectangle, like, geometrically shaped objects have connections and lines and a lot of proof showing that these objects are heavy objects built on the surface with the parallax, and because we can see the optical illusion of some of the objects that look out of, distorted, and that is proving to us that it's on the surface. And two objects, when you're filming on Earth and you're filming the moon, even though they say it's moving and we don't see it moving, well, the thing is in science is that the parallax is causing us to see distortions. But look at that. Talk about a connection. Every block I'm showing you here, geometrical shape, is connected to that one line. If that's not enough proof for an archaeologist to want to get, become an astronaut and go to the moon, I don't know what it is. Here's another angle again, no filter. I'm sorry, I'm trying not to laugh because it's just absolutely incredible. It's the best proof I've ever seen on the moon, actually. And listen, it's the best proof if you're a researcher. It's not the best proof if you want to see a Steven Spielberg movie. There's nothing clear there. Well, sorry, not too bad, but it's not the best image because it's not easy to combat the atmosphere that's there. We're starting to see some people talk about there being trains on the moon. There's an image that was shown, if it's real or not. I mean, listen, I get it. We got to decipher all these channels, websites, and whatnot, but I have seen an image of a supposed train, what looked like a train, first of all, let's just say that, and all the objects connected side by side, one after the other. Here, if you look along the image, I don't think we need any circles to be put up, but I still will get one up right there, especially that region where you see there are at least a couple of hundreds of objects, and that's the ones that are in focus. So there could be a smaller object. So when people say, well, we don't see anything else except for these bumps on the surface, it's because there's smaller objects, always smaller objects. This is also sinus iridum. Rarely have I showed it. It's at the back part. You can see the objects on the bottom there, but What's that? There's lines crossing over, like built lines, and all those dirt patches. Look at that, patches of dirt all over the surface. They're hiding something. It's not natural. Look at the two lines right there overlapping a platform, long elongated platform. The patches of dirt here seen close up. That I've been talking about it for a long time because you could see it absolutely all over the surface of the moon. Let me re-stick this in here. That is Jupiter. See the flash at the bottom? Two objects appear, either something leaving Jupiter or skimming Jupiter, going to or from, going towards the other way or coming this way. We don't know, but here's a close-up conversion. So it's two massive objects, and the worst of it, yeah, the objects look different. And actually, you want to see it close up, this is exactly how NASA shows asteroids that are really far out. You'll see a pixelated square on top. It's not pixelated, but that's the light you see, obviously some pixelation. And on the bottom, even bigger. And NASA decides on the size, scientists, on the size of the objects that are seen when they zoom up, and depending on how many blocks of light, as they say, you can see, we saw 4 blocks on one of the ones on top and another one on the bottom.
Very dim, very hard to see. Now this one's going to pick up some speed, then go invisible. Come on, I caught you, so you can leave now.
Without cutting the footage, I look for instant reactions, an interaction with an instant reply. Watch what happens when I ask them to impress me and fly away.
Do that. Take off, my friend. Press us. Picking up speed. Thanks a lot. See you soon. Awesome.
Of the moon, Copernicus, southeast, bottom side, seen here from Montreal. This line goes into the ground and it veers there. You see it's all literally looks built. And there's another one, hard to see, right? Where we're going to use the regular negative filter. It's no mystery. Look at the bridge-like object. It passes over top. I know it's thin and it's hard to see, and there's a magnifying lens on top of it to zoom in even more in the image so you can see it. These things are not easy to show. They never were easy to show, but you could clearly see them going into the surface. And I tried everything to get in close to see it. And if I zoom in with the digital editor, it'll pixelate and whatnot. It's small, but that's how you have to see it because, of course, these things are seen small. Let's convert it. Is that not incredible? There's a black lining that goes along that tunnel or line. It has to be a tunnel. There's liquids, there's beings, one or the other. There's something going through there, heat, smoke, whatever you want to call it. This, with a 14-inch telescope, is a close-up of a crater, a side-angle view, beautiful 45-degree angle, and you can see the patches around the crater. Here, without any filter, zoomed up, they look like forests. In theory, could it be the vegetation on the moon? Something really concerning me, guys, in the news. Our scientists around the world, in any world as a matter of fact, don't know anything about the inner core of Earth. So the problem I have is that now there's something occurring with the core of Earth that's actually been occurring since 2009. And I wanted to share it with you all because it's news just getting out and it's very hush-hush. The inner core rotation has been slowing down of Earth and now has stopped and is actually reversing its course. Earth's core may be reversing its rotation. Its rotation has slowed significantly, and this was 3 days ago that they said this. So is it stopped now and they're not telling us? And this slowing began apparently all the way back in 2009. So I'm seeing clouds traveling in different directions. The winds and rain seem to be coming from other angles, right? And angles that I've never seen before. The sun, the moon is shifting around in the sky. So what does this mean? They have no idea. All they know is that this has been occurring throughout the years. And everyone, thanks for the generous contributions, and thanks for watching the videos.
Aliens are up there on the moon. They may be even coming right here soon. Aliens are landing on the moon. Yes, they are up there. Doesn't matter, cause disclosure's coming soon. Disclosure's coming soon.